Alright, so today I'm going to show you guys how to get outside of Dragon Soul. For years I wanted to get outside of Dragon Soul, but couldn't figure out a way. And I was curious about what I assume is an unused boss room inside Dragon Soul, which is that third open mouth tentacle thing that's kind of in front of Wyrmrest Temple. Because for two of the boss fights you go left, and for one you go right, or for both of them you go left or right. So I'm going to go down here and show you guys how we found a way to get out. I personally enjoy doing out of bounds exploration. Let me check my sound settings real quick. I haven't posted very much about it on this channel though, or at all really, because I've just been doing War and Mythic Plus. I think this is Dragon Soul. No, it's right there. So yeah, I'm going to show you guys how to get out of here, and you can kind of mess around with this if you want to. So as a Warlock, this is how I do it. I assume that Demon Hunter can also meta to the same spot to get through the wall. So on a lot of maps, if you try to put your demonic gate through an invisible wall, it'll tell you that there's no path or that you can't do that here, or you don't have line of sight or something like that. But sometimes, especially in older maps, you can find a tangible object that starts inside the map and then goes through the invisible wall. And for us, this is this spine thing over here, this like spike coming off this spine. So for Warlock, we're going to come right about here, and we want to put our gate as far over to the right on this bone as we can get. So you can see there's an invisible wall here, and I'm going to put the gate right about there. And then you'll fall down off the right side and you're through that wall. And then you're basically out here, and I don't have my friend online right now. Oops, sorry. May have got myself a little stuck. There we go. So I don't have my friend online right now, but you also need to, you have to do a little bit of parkour here. To do like the Wrathgate jumps that I want to do later, you kind of do need two players. And the more people and more classes that you can bring to this, the better it'll be. And you can like create a raid group in LFG and invite your own characters to it. Another thing that's going to really help you in Out of Bounds is Potion of Gust from Dragonflight. So like I'm struggling with this jump, and then I just Gust pot up here. And then we're out. So we're through all the invisible walls now. And I think there's only two interesting things that I want to show you while I'm out here. It's going to be a long, long walk. So that you could explore back here and see the instance version of this place. You can see the Horde encampments, the Forsaken encampments. We've got to do a long loop all the way back around. A lot of raids will have like an entire continent in them whenever the raid takes place in the open world. So like, and maybe I'll show you that one next. Outside of, is it Atal Drizzalore? Let's take a look here. It's gonna be a Fae. Dazaralore. Okay. Yeah, so when you get outside of the raid in Dazaralore, you can explore the whole instance continent of Zandalar. And there's not really anything interesting out there, but there's no enemies and there's no NPCs. So you can kind of like right here, you see there would be a Flight Master right there. And the Griffins are here and they're fully animated too. You can kind of see them like moving their heads a little bit. I think eventually they'll like look left or right, but we're going to continue on. So you can explore this. But Dragon Soul is not one such instance where the entire continent is instanced. Must be the other way. When it comes to old instances, Mage used to be really good at getting through invisible walls with Blink because the ground you're standing on extends through the invisible wall to the other side, and so it would find the path to get over there. But I found that that may have been fixed. There may still be some places where it works, and it will help you get out of like infinite falling spots, which maybe I can show you some other time. The Void Elf Racial is good for a lot of things as well. Getting past it won't go past invisible walls, but like if you have a death barrier that's in water, it'll go past that. And sometimes there's like DC walls, like a Motherlode, and the Void Elf Racial will go past those. You can see down there, it's where that one dungeon is. I think it's like end time. The main thing I want to show you guys though is out here in Frostmourne Cavern where Arthas got the Frostmourne blade. Because maybe some other like avid out of bounds explorer can take the time to figure this out. We tried a lot of different methods to try and do this, but we could not figure out where or how. So if you look at the map, we're still in Dragon Soul. But you may know or may not know that after you defeat the spine of Deathwing, you end up in the Maelstrom, where you fight the last phase of Deathwing. But if you come over here to Frostmourne Cavern and you open your map, you're in the Dragon Soul. And this is the only place that I've found this, and so me and my friends think that perhaps during a cutscene or something, you're teleported here and then to the final area. And so what we've tried to figure out for a couple of hours, or maybe even many attempts, is like, how do you get from this place to the final phase of Deathwing, like to the final boss room? And we can't figure it out. So if somebody else wants to try, that'd be great because I think the community would love a skip past Spine of Deathwing. Currently, the only way is to like log an ult with a lockout and then cycle your tunes through that character. So if somebody can figure out why the map changes to Dragon Soul inside Frostmourne Caverns, and if there's maybe a way to port from here to the last boss, that would be great. The final thing I want to show you though is going to be the Wrathgate, which is the furthest northwest that you can go on the map. And you can actually climb up the Wrathgate, but I'm not going to be able to go vertical without a evoker. Evokers are kind of goaded for climbing slopes and stuff. Like Fell Rush and Lighter Than Air can let you wall run or wall walk. So like this incline right here, if you Fell Rush this with a jump, it might like move you forward up it, and Monks Lighter Than Air, whenever they dash, will move up it. Whereas for us who can't do that, we just kind of jump and get stuck. But Evoker, specifically Augmentation Evokers, Breath of Eons is capable of like hitting this wall, and if there's any curve to it, they can fly up until breath runs out, and then they can like double dash. And that's kind of needed to get over to the top of Ice Crown or Wrathgate. Very slowly approaching the Wrathgate. I'm also going to go ahead and soulstone myself and maybe make some cookies because it is possible to die during this. Right here. Alright, so we have finally gotten over here. It really wasn't that long. I just stopped recording because I went in a circle on accident. So this is like the hill that we're going to jump up. So we're at the Wrathgate now. You can see the world is ended over there. You have to be very careful when scaling the Wrathgate and sometimes other things. And trying to see how best way for me to get up there. I think it's gonna be from over here. Ooh, careful. Use the potion of gust there, a little gnome. And we might have to use it again. Sometimes there's toys and stuff that will help you, but oh wait, are here? Oh wait, I can probably just gate that. There we go. Alright, so we got one more tier up, and we want to keep going up. Now, the higher you get in elevation, the more dangerous this is going to get, because when you mess something up, you're going to just die, pretty much. Oh yeah, yeah, it's starting to come back to me. I think we have to get up there and then go over there to get onto the Wrathgate, like metal. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So I just want to go from here to there. And it only gets harder as you go up, like until we reach that point where you basically need an evoker. Alright, so we're going up now. Alright, so be super careful here. We have to get up to there, or up to there. Either way is fine. Once you enter into this area over here, you are not able to cast spells because it's on a different phase. It's really weird. Alright, so now we're silenced. Can't use any spells or abilities. You've got to be careful here. There are a lot of ways to fall down or get stuck. We want to just get up here if we are able to. You might be able to find a spot where you're not considered in the Wrath Gate and you're able to cast, like right here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Alright. I made that so much harder on myself than it probably needed to be. Okay. Demonic Circle, probably new Soulstone. Alright, so we've gotten up here. This is one of the harder vertical or horizontal jumps. Since you have to go from here to over there, and this really, really wants you to be something that isn't Warlock for this. But we're going to give it our best shot. Starting with Noggin Foggers. And let's see what we get. We got Skeleton. Skeleton again. Just keep going until we get Slow Fall, I guess. And then we're going to jump and Gust. And Slow Fall will carry us the rest of the way through. Alright, so now you're over one of the harder parts. If you have a Priest levitate you, you can do the same thing without spamming Noggin Foggers. And the Noggin Foggers buff only lasts like 15 seconds. Alright, so again, when you touch the Wrath Gate, you lose the ability to cast spells. And so it becomes very important then to not die. Because if you get stuck on here, you won't be able to like demonic circle out necessarily. You'll just be dead. And you probably will die here quite a bit unless you just log an evoker and, you know, use yourself to kind of go further. From here on out, you don't really need a warlock, I think. So if you did log your evoker and summon him here, you'd be fine to do that. You want to be very careful here because if you come off with too much momentum off this, you'll fall and die. As you can see here, I'm silenced. I can't do anything except for summon him out. You can jump in between these grooves if you want to, but we're just going to the end. Oh, well look at that. You can just jump through here. So it's been a few months since I've been doing this. So yeah, we're just gonna wait for a potion of gust to come up so that we can make this jump over to the next hole. And then I think it's that hole or maybe the one after. I think it is that one that you can just climb a tower. Maybe I can get that even closer, huh? Oh yeah, look at that. Can we go further? Probably don't need to. Alright, I guess this is what we're doing. Alright, so this is the hole you want right here at the edge of the world. You just jump up this all the way to the top. And once again, I'm saying that at this point you might require an evoker. Just climbing up the Rathgate. I don't know if we actually can get over to this hilltop without one. Yeah, I don't think we can make that jump. Maybe with noggin foggers. Might travel too far though. Can't use that while pacified. Ooh. um, that's not good. Let's put that there. Alright, well, again, this is the furthest that we can go up, and we need to get over there. And we're dead. We're so dead. Oh, it's over. Well, that's how you get to the highest point outside of Dragon Soul, and also how you lose your character to the DC wall. Goodbye, world. Oh, what? Oh, you don't disconnect down here. Check it out. Alright, well, this is how you get to the lowest point of Dragon Soul. See, I told you, you gotta use that soul stone.